Like it's just wild. It was like the Diddy trial ended and the content dried up, so people had to find a name. You know, they had to find somebody to jump right back on me again. But then that wasn't working too good because they couldn't completely make a fraud out of me. So then they ran down on Umar, and now the situation with Reggie happens right before the sentencing, and now it's Cat. You know, it's like it's the predatory nature of how all of this stuff works.
Real life. If it ain't real life,
If it ain't real life, just ain't real life. Street stars. You know what time it is.
What's the cost of fame now, Jack?
Apparently, life and death. That's what it's looking like to me. What's it looking like to y'all?
Yeah,
Is
dangerous.
it, is it looking like it's worth it?
No,
it? When I made the phrase and coined the phrase, hip hop is a graveyard, I wasn't bullshit. And I didn't realize how accurate I was. But it's not just hip hop, it's entertainment as a whole. What do you think of my new cruelty free sweatshirt?
I like it. I like it.
You know, the one thing that I love about this is right here by the earring, there's a QR code. And when you scan it, Easter egg of art and all of that, you know, me having to find a new way to be creative and to share my creativity with the public. I have to do this because the industry cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. Look at all the people that we lost this year so far. All these suspicious things. The death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
And still no real answers on that. The death of Angie Stone, very suspicious. Still no answers on that. Now, Reggie Carroll is gone, and though he wasn't as much of a household name as these other names that I just mentioned, he's becoming one because of you know. Are we gonna you see what I'm saying? Do you see
Yeah.
what like it's wild. And meanwhile, people are more worried about Diddy getting out of jail so the rest of the industry don't have to go to jail. And it all leads right back to what Cat Williams had to say. The biggest job that someone has in the Shluminati is to pretend like there is no Shluminati. That's what everybody's doing right now. But for anybody to try to take him and tie this to him when the authorities aren't, and then they got to come up with all kinds of conspiracy theories and speculation to get people to believe that Cat Williams is responsible for this man's death in some way, when y'all have all of the evidence in the world of exactly how monstrous Diddy and all of his friends are, and everyone that he's worked with, and all of you that are attached to this corrupt system. But y'all don't want to believe that even when the evidence is in your face. Isn't that funny? You could take the evidence and you could shove it in their face. Like you shove a dog's face in piss to let them know don't do that there no more. And they'll pretend like they don't see nothing. But they love weaving and crafting and coming up with all of these stories so that they can punish the people who ruin their little wet dreams about, you know, the industry or whatever. Like it's,
Look,
yeah.
Jack. Before we get out of here, I just gotta ask. I just have to ask you about this. I know you probably gonna
What?
have something to say about this, but um, Dr. Umar, what are your thoughts on him?
Do I gotta have a thought? I mean, y'all asked him about me when he sat on this couch, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, we did.
And what was his
I
response?
can't remember exactly what he said. I don't want to misquote him. Do you remember?
But I think somebody said he said, like he pleaded the fifth and said he has no response,
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
something like
Like
that.
he wouldn't speak on you.
And you know what? I should do him the same kindness. But the one thing that I would say about it is whether or not he's a fraud, whether or not he's not, he was a meal for a lot of content creators this year. Like I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be feasted on. I know what it's like to have your name abused and taken advantage of.
Right.
Honestly, earlier today there was a content creator I'd never seen before. And it was so elusive because he was actually using Poetic Flacco's commentary that he did on Dr. Umar. And I thought it was a new video from Poetic Flacco, the way he had it cropped up, and then come to find out it was just a reaction video of the reaction that Poetic Flacco was having off of another reaction. And
That's that's
you
crazy
know what I'm
content.
saying? Like, and for whatever reason, I decided it's been over 30 seconds. He's gonna get credit for the view. Let's hear what he's got to say. And he was just sitting there trashing Umar. Oh man, this guy, man, you could tell he's a scam artist. You could tell he's a fraud. And man, he been collecting money for all of these years, and he got 75,000. Then it was 750,000. I mean, the truth is he sounded like he was weeded out of his mind. He could barely remember what the commentary was. He just knew that he was going to get clicks and views because he was trashing Umar. Then he sat there and said he's probably not, he ain't no real doctor. He don't have no real. That's not true. Umar did go to school. Umar does have his accreditation. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's active to be doing what he's doing, but and then he sat up there and oh man, and you got all these money from these people and you ain't even show them no building plans and you ain't even show them this and you ain't even show them that. But Umar did. He has buildings. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a physical location for the school, but this guy gets to sit there and just because everybody else said it, he gets to say it too, Satan. See, something happens to one person, and the whole internet gets to do reaction videos on it and gets to make money off of it and gets to build their channels. Meanwhile, the very content creator, I went and I checked his stats. I can't even remember his name. That's how not memorable he is. He's got a little over 2 million views, but he's had his channel since 2014. I've had 7 channels deleted in the past 3.5 years. I'm on my 8th channel right now, the Jaguar Wright effect. I got almost 7 million views in less than a year. And that's being suppressed as I'm building it up with still less than 100,000 subscribers on my channel. It's just funny to me. And then you got other people running around with this social blade and talking about whose channel is rated this and how much money they get and pocket watching, and meanwhile they doing all of this stuff. Like it's just wild. It was like the Diddy trial ended and the content dried up, so people had to find a name. You know, they had to find somebody to jump right back on me again. But then that wasn't working too good because they couldn't completely make a fraud out of me. So then they ran down on Umar, and now the situation with Reggie happens right before the sentencing, and now it's Cat. You know, it's like it's the predatory nature of how all of this stuff works. And then to go and find out that 51% of it, and possibly more at this point, because that's what was found in 2024. It could be more in 2025. It's not even real. It's just a bunch of bots. So it's basically the internet feeding the internet with a bunch of crap. And you know, everyone's getting real sue happy these days, and everybody wants to sue a person for this and sue a person. Can you sue an AI content creator
Yeah.
for lying? Because 2/3 of the lies that are told about me, and I'm going to research myself, come from AI channels. Can I sue them for defamation?
I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But people still making money off of it. Whoever owns the AI channel is still getting that bread. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, um, for me, I don't know. I don't. I can't speak on that man's finances. I can't speak on. I'm not interested in speaking on his intimate life, which is really funny because that's what they use to run down on him. Like it wasn't like people came after him because they we have evidence of fraud and we can prove he's a fraud and this and whoopty whoopty whoop. No, it wasn't that. It was some chick um who was clout chasing him, who decided to sit with every duplicitous content creator that could go after him, and then boom, that created the frenzy. And then it was, oh yeah, he's a fraud, and then they want to do wellness checks on his elderly mom, like strangers from the internet sending people to invade his mother's privacy. Like, ain't that wild?
Yeah.
Like, and meanwhile, half of the people that was promoting him was the main ones jumping on the hate train this summer to talk crap about him. And I say it all the time. They build them up and they make money off of them going up. And then they ride them twice as hard coming down, and they make twice as much money tearing them apart.
Yeah.
And, I talked to some people in the FBA community, and they said, Jag, stay away from that. Don't stick up for him. He's a fraud. He's a this, he's a that. And I'm like, all right, I hear you. But what I don't understand is if everyone knew he was a fraud all of this time, why did y'all keep promoting him? Why didn't somebody come up and say something before now? Like, why would y'all let him go for almost 15 years if you knew he was a fraud all along? And more importantly than that, if y'all was going to come after him and have, a woman sitting there talking about all kinds of intimate stuff like that because he's this predator, then why didn't y'all just go after him and go and get all of his female victims to come forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like there was a much more ethical way to go after him if that's what was going to happen. But I don't think it had anything to do with ethics or morality. I think the Diddy content dried up because the trial was over and people needed a new meal. Like, I swear to God, fucking YouTube is like hungry, hungry fucking hip hop.
Right.
Like, just, it's wild. Meanwhile, you bring a relevant story forward, like the Demore Hadley story, and people are sitting there acting like you're trying to inject them with HIV. Can't even get them to talk about it. Wonder why. I don't know if you guys know, I was mentioned in her sanctions lawsuit. Her mother came after her for sanctions.
Didn't know that. Did not know that.
Yeah. Had to pay her mom, had to pay out money because she did interviews on YouTube. And I wasn't personally mentioned, but the name of the series was mentioned, and I was said that they said I was mentally ill just like her. Like they said this on court record. Y'all been knowing me for what, over 5 years now?
Yes, I feel like it's been a little bit longer, but yeah,
Am I mentally ill?
no.
No, I'm serious. Like, am I crazy? Am I mentally ill?
No.
Why do people get to say it every day, all day? Why do they just get to sit there and lie? Why do they get to sit there and defame my character? You know, it's what do I got to say about Dr. Umar? Welcome to the party, dog.
Mm.
Welcome to the party. They've been feasting on me for a long time. I wouldn't have wished it on you. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, honestly. But this is what it is. Welcome to the party, dog. Is that a good enough response?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's crazy. Well, Jag, man, you already know you always gonna have a place speaking here at Real Life, always. So
Well, I appreciate that. And if you wouldn't mind letting anybody know, if they wanna, this was painted by Art. Art is he's a really awesome art teacher and an artist, and he has a channel here on YouTube. But when he interviewed me last summer, um, he actually sketched this while we were live.
oh, cool, cool,
He
that's
did it
cool.
with Apollo Santo, and Odell did the design, and yeah, this is our new cruelty-free hoodie for for people who want to support what we're doing, what we're trying to create, what we're trying to build. It's not easy, but if anybody's interested, send them on
Right.
over.
Yeah, we need one for sure. Definitely,
Absolutely.
we got that shrine over there. So
Well, the awesome thing is that we've made it interactive now. So there's actually a new song that's unreleased that's attached to
oh
this.
wow.
And we're going to be making it an interactive experience for any of the merch that we have. So when you get a piece of whatever merch we have, clothing that we have, or whatever the case may be, you might get a live performance video, you might get a special podcast, or you might get a song or an EP. It all depends. But yeah, that's what we're doing now. What do you think?
I love it.
Awesome. So yeah, until we meet again.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see you in about a month, I say.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious to see. People are getting geared up now. Those sentencing recommendations ain't looking so short, regardless of what anybody online had to say. I'll never forget the day of his verdict. There were so many people that came by that had so many nasty things to say. Ah, you said all that about Diddy. He got a slap on the wrist. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of people did a whole lot of early celebrating. That's the hardest thing in the world is just to sit back and you just gotta be. But what do I always say? My best receipts in the world are time and reality. We got a little bit more time and there's more reality coming, I know. Woo, what a journey. Well, y'all be good. Until next time.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life, that shit ain't acting.
It ain't real life. Just a real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Shout out Reallyfe street stars, nigga. Move. Hey.